So the K-tape, we're not gonna do too much of anything. I'm just
She's gonna show me.
Yeah. So let's just say, for example's sake, we K-tape, we cut it here, because all you need is a little bit. This tape stretches, is very, very short. That's why I've seen people do like a whole 10,000 rolls. Oh, this is pre-cut, so sorry. So, I forgot about that. So even this is too much.
Yeah.
I would cut this actually in half. You guys should probably do thirds so you get 3 out of 1. So like, do you guys but anyways, it's okay. So the K-tape, let's just say he has a QL problem, or QL or Erector Spinae group muscle issue, and his low back is hurting. So with the K-tape,
I have that one. I can find out.
Oh, that's okay. We're just gonna. That's alright. We'll work it out. It's cool. It's cool. Man. Okay. So the K-tape. So for this injury, this client, we already did the fingers, the dry brushing, and he still has a little bit of swelling down here. It's like, man, I've been practicing Muay Thai, I've been kickboxing, whatever it is, and I got kicked right here, but I still won my fight, and I'm sore. So we need to lift up the skin so underneath the drainage of your lymphatic system can drain out. So that's what the tape is. The tape, you stretch it out, put it on, and then it comes together. So like it pulls. Right.
It's almost kind of just like the move, the rolling of the skin, like the.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, see, with the rolling, that's only like a temporary. So at least with the K-tape, we can tell them go home, even with a shower.
Long-term thing. Or at least it's hoping it up. But it's kind of like the same effect, really. Okay.
Yeah, because
just trying to understand.
With the K-tape, you can actually leave on. You can ice through it, heat through it. You can take a bath with it. It doesn't peel off until about maybe 2 weeks. You'll start to see the ends falling off. But the tape is water, like kind of resistant or soluble, so it can resist water even if you do take a shower. So the tape, you take a little bit of it, and let's just say we need an anchor. The anchor is wherever you're going to put it at. Just like an anchor in a boat, you need to put anchor on the water so the boat doesn't, roll away from you. So we're going to anchor from here. I should have anchored down at the bottom, but that's okay. And the tape is heat reactive, so you have to kind of almost give it a little bit of heat because it doesn't want to stick properly or well. And remember, people's skin have body oils. So like you said earlier, we will wipe them down first. And sometimes that's why it won't stick, is because our bodies are oily. So hold here, stretch, because this is going to be your anchor. So you hold down. See how I just press right here, because this is going to be, you don't want your ends to be stretched. So your ends, they're going to be the normal just contact points. But everything in here, so then it's going to come together.
Yeah, I see that already.
So then you rub it, so you give it some heat, so it can stick. Alright, and so that's why your anchor, and so you pull, and then you lay down, put your thumb here, and then this just is your anchor. So everything else here pulls in, these are just holding. So it's like stakes, and then everything else is pulling in. So this would be like your second layer of, like when they go home, or if they going out to their next workout event and stuff like that. That's why you see the athletes with the K-tape, like, yes, because it's actually bringing in that muscle or skin, allowing to that lymphatic drainage to drain out, or new blood to come in and to heal that wound much quicker. And it does work. It's old school, ancient Chinese secret, but Americans have stole it and made it some extra stuff. But it really, China or traditional Chinese medicine, they've been doing K-tape way before this. It was like bamboo stripping. It was sort of like sticky sap, and they would, it's a whole another story behind it, which Americans don't like putting out there, but they're the originators of pretty much all this stuff. So that's your K-tape. So say they had another injury on the back, I need to open up so the spine can breathe, then you can do cross, you can do halves, you can do quarters or diagonal. You can do whatever you want, wherever that affected area is.
So basically that's when we're doing more Erector Spinae group with this particular one here.
Yeah.
With the pulling that one, and of course, lymphatic drainage in this affected area.
Right, and that Erector Spinae, remember, those muscles are kind of actually thin and they come all the way up and hook into the occipital ridge. They're not spread out. Everybody thinks back muscles. I'm like, no, you have your lats are spread out, your ribs, right? They're just in the center of the body, really close to the spine. Yeah, because the other muscles like QL to serratus anterior, those are actually on the inside of the rib cage or very close posterior, serratus anterior, inferior one. Those are inside the body, but the most superficial ones that cover your back are the Erector Spinae, well, especially your lats on top, then underneath Erector Spinae, your traps on top. Yeah, so there's other muscles that are actually on top of those, but those mainly are just in the spine column only. They're not on the sides. I've seen K-tape way over here. What do you do? Now, if they have inhalation problems or breathing, then yeah, you can K-tape the side, but why would you have tape way over here? So then after the K-tape, we're now going to go into the cups.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. Can we use the roller, that little wooden? Yeah, perfect. So say you didn't want to do all the little rubbing and extra stuff, and you need something more penetrating. But nothing's deep in lymphatic drainage. But a nice little roller. It's little different spots. And all you're doing is rolling. It does all the work for you, so instead of doing the hands. So there's a gradual progression of like, why do I have to do the hands when I can just do like a vibrating like massage gun, set it on a lower setting? That would probably do it for you. So there's ways you can actually do lymphatic drainage just in a light way than doing all the hands and the brushes. Those are still old school tricks of the trade. So if you do,
basically we're just bringing up those Erector Spinae and also just
because it's very superficial. The ones that actually give us the information, the lymphatic system that's actually inside the body, which like cancers attack or like really bad injuries, those are on the inside. Yes, you have lymphatic systems throughout the whole entire body, but the more superficial ones are the ones that cause inflammation, swelling, any type of buildup of anything. And those are the ones you kind of want to get rid of first. And if it is a deep one, like the ones that cancer would attack, you would need medical treatment. You would, this is not going to stop cancer from attacking your lymphocytes because it's too superficial. Cancer is normally deep, like always going to be where your cells are derived from.
That cause of it,
like the very beginnings of the affected area. Because like even for like swelling, like if you look at an ankle or I got bruising in my arm because I've been, like I said, doing Muay Thai and kicking people, that swelling is literally superficial. If it got underneath that, your muscles would be hurt. Like, wow, why does it hurt to even curl that muscle? Or if it's even deeper than that, I probably tore something. Like, and you'll know, like, I wouldn't get lymphatic drainage if I tore a muscle. I need to heal first. So, lymphatic ain't gonna do nothing for that. But these are basically just superficial or the most top parts of injuries that I can actually get rid of swelling and cause healing quickly. So other than this, we can actually do like the hand roller, which is that little blue. Yep.
Okay. These are cold.
Right. So sometimes I know they're up in my downstairs or something. So this might be a little cold because the wheels are a little icy. So I'm gonna test it on your arm first. If it's too cold, let me know. Not too bad. Cool. So the rollers, you have your little hand stopper thingy so you don't slide off the person's hands. And it's just a light movement. It's the same as this, just more rollers. And just rolling on the body. And, surprising, I know it's cold, but it really does move that lymphatic system. so you can introduce more healing instead of what the fingers could do. Fingers are one thing, but then there's other tools that actually help the lymphatic system better than your hands. And hands take a while.
I was gonna say, because you have a lot of tools, and it's like, all right, for those who don't, we're doing that. But for those who can, these are.
And they're inexpensive, like Amazon, like $7, like $8. So then the stones we're gonna use, and these are Himalayan salt stones. We normally would warm these up, because even though inflammation is something that heat doesn't really like, you don't want to put somebody in a hot tub if they just got into a crazy injury where it's swollen. So you would ice it first, then let that inflammation go away. But this is like days later when the athlete's coming in saying, hey, I need to recover. So I like lymphatic drainage more for recovery, not for an acute fix. An acute fix, you need to go home, you know, rest, ice, or rest, elevate your legs, compression, or whatever.